A vengeful swordsman leaves golden statuettes after killing criminals to force his lover to choose. Why? Watch this love triangle explode into fatal duels and soul-crushing heartbreak. This is 1968's Golden Swallow. Picture: the Golden Swallow, aka Xie Wo Yan. A poisonous dart had just hit her, and before she could assess her environment, she was surrounded by masked men, likely gangsters. They announced themselves as such. She had just delivered a bag of silver teals to a family in need. Wo Yan's altruistic actions made her predictable. They knew she could not resist offering aid to a family in dire straits, and she did. Now she finds herself in a perilous predicament. The gangsters knew she was no slouch with her katanas, but they were desperate enough to hope against all odds for a win. And I must say, their strategy was clever. To initially attack with a poisonous dart when her defenses are down. Lucky for her. Her best friend, Iron Whip, aka Han Tao, was stalking her. Iron Whip abides by a strict code. He can hurt, he can injure, he can maim, but he never kills. After giving those cowardly hooligans a thrashing, they surrender the poison dart's antidote and he leaves with Yen. That's baffling. Why would the strategic, ill-meaning gangsters carry with them an antidote for a poison they plan to use on a fatally dangerous enemy? Ah, I see. In case they accidentally poisoned themselves. That's smart, and it's a good thing too, the way Iron Whip was putting a Batman I Am Vengeance-style beating on them. Having an antidote was the only way to save themselves. The Golden Swallow's path to recovery is swift. Han compliments his patient on her speedy recovery, and even notices an improvement in her fighting skills. Humbly, she retorts that it is only thanks to him that the Golden Swallow lives. Wo Yan deflects Han Tao's flirtatious advances by shifting the topic to their fighting philosophies. While Iron Whip adheres to his code of not killing, Golden Swallow swiftly and effectively executes death sentences. Their discussion on how to treat criminals is interrupted by Flying Fox, aka Hu San, who arrives excited to visit his best friend, Han. If Han Tao had plans to make a move on Wo Yan as soon as she was healed, San's visit has blocked them. The clueless and excited San fails to read the sexual tension and dives into memory lane about his old days in martial arts school with Iron Whip. In his ramblings, he casually mentions that a vigilante is stirring up a lot of trouble in the city. This vigilante is Silver Rock, aka Xiao Peng, aka Yu Wang. A gang lurking in the vegetative cover of a high rocky hillside beside a winding dusty road prepares to serve a large dish of ambush to this vigilante on a white horse dressed in all white. Silver's mindset is one to confront his enemies head on. He seems unfazed as he pulls on his horse's reins. He probably saw the trap a mile away and reveled in anticipation of the confrontation. He ventures right into the thick of it. Silver jumps off his horse, takes off his crownless hat, and saunters towards his soon-to-be opponents as he fans himself. The gang should have suspected something was amiss, due to his leisurely and relaxed gait as he walked right into the kill box. All these misguided assailants see is an opportunity. They are armed to the teeth, and they outnumber him, not 3, not 4, but 6 to 1. They are thinking to themselves, he should be easy pickings. Silver throws the brimless hat at the men in front of him, a distraction. In the meantime, he unsheaths his sword and, in one motion, cuts down 2 men who are creeping up on him from behind. By George, he makes it look easy. Discount show enough strains to hide that he is rattled and fails. I bet when he planned the ambush, he did not expect any casualties. His plans have suffered a 33% loss in the first 3 seconds. At that rate, the guy in purple, the guy in yellow, and the weed smoker regret answering the call to make a quick 10 tails of Silver. All is not lost. As Silver stalks them, help is on the way. Other members of the gang rush down the cliff. One of them has a bow and a quiver of arrows. I bet he will stand back and take advantage of his long-range weapon. And wow, what is going on right now? Please, pick up your bow and end this before Silver Rock becomes aware of your presence. Ah, why switch from using a long-range weapon to short-range knives? Maybe the bow is his weakness, and knives are his specialty. He is about to show Silver Rock what close knife combat looks like. Oh wait, Silver Rock has a long sword. His comrades, all armed with long swords, make no remarks about opting for an inferior weapon. These clowns approach the Silver from behind. Halfway to the combat area would have been a good place to pause and assess, but let us see their out-of-the-box approach. No plan. We know what Silver does to people who sneak up on him. The same thing he does to anyone who stands in front of him. Take them down. And as expected, down they go. Those four were dead as soon as the archer dropped his bow. A few swift slashes, and everyone who wanted the Silver Rock dead is a corpse, turning a dusty, rugged road into a blood-soaked one. He sauntered back to his horse, mounted it, and then rode back from whence he came. Does this mean he had no destination in mind, other than the ambush? This man is cold-blooded. He rides to the edge of the cliff and stops. Correction, he was going somewhere after all. We see him looking down on the valley where Han Tao, Wo Yen, and Husan are communing. From his inner pocket, he pulls out a statuette of a golden swallow. Little context. Whenever the golden swallow, Wo Yen, completes an action, whether it's aiding a desperately poor family or sending criminals to the underworld, she leaves the statuette. It's her calling card. His next stop is a gentleman's club where all the girls fawn over the opportunity to be with this giant among men. Despite the temptation up the stairs, Peng heads straight to one room, the premium VIP suite where he is a regular. You can tell by the way he slams the door on all the pesky and desperate girls. Waiting in the room is one exquisite lady of the evening, Main Yang. After drinks, they head to bed, where they take turns undressing each other. Their foreplay is interrupted by Miang noticing a golden swallow statuette fall from Peng's pocket. Niang expresses her dismay that her favorite client secretly yearns for a woman, and it pains her heart. She suggests that Peng reach out to her and open his heart. Unlike facing his enemies, facing one's love takes more than courage. Peng remarks that he does not need to, as the golden swallow will soon approach him. With that cryptic answer, they proceed to do what he came to the club to do. We shall give Peng and Miang their privacy. While Silver enjoys a delectable night with a premium lady of the evening, Han Tao and Wo Yen are unable to sleep. Han tests the waters on his chances with Wo Yen, but she is preoccupied with Husan's story of a vigilante killing with impunity. She suspects it's Peng, which causes her to reminisce about her days in martial arts school and Silver Rock's origin story. His parents and siblings were killed in front of him when he was 9. He later joined the school that Wo Yen attended. He was a youngest student, but his rage and need for vengeance drove him to rise through the ranks, becoming the best. They had one rule above all: never use your knowledge for vengeance. Peng went against their master and ran off to seek revenge on those who made him an orphan. A boy, Bruce Wayne, not the regular comic book Bruce Wayne, but the one from Zack Snyder's universe, has a kindred spirit in Xiao Peng. Han Tao's attempt to get out of the friend zone failed again. Moving on to Silver Rock, we come to understand what he meant by saying the golden swallow would go to him. He is on a killing rampage. Silver Rock seeks out wrongdoers wherever they are. These archers took advantage of their bows and arrows. They target their victim, their aim is true, and they quickly end their enemy. As soon as Silver Rock appears, instead of faking a retreat to pick up their bows and use them to end this one-man plague, they attack. Well, at least they gang up on him. They never stood a chance. I know the 4 had just killed a man who seemed innocent, and 4 against 1 is hardly fair. In this world, gangsters are the default, and vengeance is more rampant than COVID in 2020. If Silver had asked, their motives might have been revenge. Sadly, we will never know. He plants Golden Swallow's calling card and departs. We turn to one of the Golden Dragon's gang lairs. One of their chiefs is issuing summary executions indiscriminately, similar to how young Oprah would give away gifts. Everyone gets a death sentence: his enemies, 2 captured assassins who failed to avenge their families, and even one of his soldiers for disobeying a direct order to kill women and children. The soldier accepts the charges. The chief has a proclivity for wiping out the bloodlines of those who cross them. From their perspective, it makes sense. If there are no survivors, then there are no vengeful assassins. When executioners grab him for the guillotine, he refuses. He opts to Control-Alt-Delete himself, rather than be executed, ensuring he meets them in hell. This chief is transforming a principled man into a vindictive one. When the chief ends up in hell, Pray the devil takes his soul first, or this soldier's action guarantees hell will freeze over. Just as they are about to witness a self-deletion out of spite, Silver crashes into this sad excuse of a gang meeting. The about-to-die gangster proclaims he does not know Silver Rock and did not ask to be saved. To prove his point, he completes the act that stops his heart. Even Simon of Cyrene simply disavowed Jesus. This soldier's commitment to integrity is unshaken. The Golden Dragon lost their best man that day. Silver has already killed 6, maybe 12 members, and the chief attempts to de-escalate. Give the chief credit. A man breaks into his house, kills some of his workers and friends, and he's willing to hear him out. Kudos. But can't he read the contempt on Silver's face? He views them as monsters deserving to be put down. Silver Rock does not exchange words with monsters and casually throws a knife that stabs the chief in his heart. He slumps over, dead. After that, he pulls a spectacular John Wick on the rest in attendance. Every gangster gets summary judgment. Sorry, no due process. The casual walk over the slain is disconcerting. Burning the place down to smoke out survivors is diabolical. As the lair burned, Silver made sure to leave the Golden Swallow's calling card. Back at Iron Whip's place, Hu San, aka the Flying Fox, had overstayed his welcome, and Han Tao and Wo Yen were too kind to tell him goodbye. It was not long before he returned, injured with gangsters on his heels. The duo is surrounded by their accusers who are seeking revenge. Blinded by rage, the gangsters' ad hoc assault is easily thwarted. Wo Yen is shocked over the murder accusation, and Han Tao concludes it's Peng's handiwork to smoke out the Golden Swallow, forcing nearby gangs to focus on finding her. Iron Whip wants to face what he believes is a man-child throwing a tantrum. His strategy is sound. They don't know the extent of Silver's carnage. It's best if Iron Whip goes looking for Silver Rock as her proxy to end it. Of course, Wo Yen declines. Upsetting Han Tao, he reiterates that exposing herself without knowing her friends from foes is imprudent. Han Tao tries to pry the real reason she wants to seek Peng solo, but she obfuscates with a platitude that she does not wish to see either man get hurt. Unable to uncover the truth, Iron Whip attends to his friend's Flying Fox's injuries. Meanwhile, in his favorite gentleman's club, Peng is having some R&R when his session is interrupted by the wails of a woman in the street. She is calling for her son and husband in the middle of the night. Silver Rock peeks from his balcony while Niang fills him in. Her husband declined two wealthy brothers' initial offer to buy their land, so they accused her son of theft, and the confrontation went south, leaving her sorrowful. This is the kind of story that gets Silver excited. No injustice will prevail while he is around. Both Han Tao and Wo Yen independently decide to leave in the middle of the night to hunt for Silver Rock. At least Wo Yen considered leaving a note. A member of the Golden Dragon gang recognizes Iron Whip while he makes a big scene at a restaurant. The gang member slips out and reports to his boss and head of the gang, Poison Dragon, aka Wang Xiong. Wang was having a sit-down with other gang heads discussing solutions to the Golden Swallow problem, unaware that Silver Rock was the root of all their problems. Based on Iron Whip's sighting, Wang deduces Golden Swallow is nearby as the gangs know the two are friends. The other leaders agree to offer their soldiers in solidarity. With an alliance born, they ride. Wang and his men barge into the restaurant. Lucky for them, Golden Swallow had just arrived. Wang is elated and orders her capture. His men show stormtrooper-level competence, and she escapes into the forest. The gang pursues. Remember the wailing lady who lost her husband and son? Silver stops at her home, now turned into a demolition site by the brothers. He tramples over debris to the one in charge, who courteously gives up his brother's location, a nearby restaurant. Silver slits his throat and moves on to complete erasing their bloodline. At the restaurant, Silver finds the second brother in the VIP area, surrounded by girls. The vigilante in white confirms his name, then hacks chaos into the eatery. The boss flies through the first-story window, while other patrons scramble to flee. Iron Whip jumps in and stops Silver Rock from ending a random cowering man on his knees, groveling for mercy for his ailing mother. The look Silver gave Iron Whip was worse than contempt. Iron Whip pleads, but in a fraction of a second, Silver flicks his wrist and nicks the man's neck. Dead. The man met his fate before Iron Whip blinked. Han Tao shifts tactics and tempts Silver with parley. The Deathbringer accepts. Iron Whip questions Silver's motives, but he remains tight-lipped. He'll explain only to Golden Swallow. Iron Whip insists, but Silver challenges him to a duel, approaching menacingly. The tension dissipates when Golden Swallow drops in and commands them to stop. Silver is glad to see Wo Yen. She remembers him but thinks he went overboard for their meeting. He claims it was the only way. Iron Whip accuses him of being a cold-blooded killer, but Silver stands by his actions. He's only killed guilty monsters. Golden Swallow has intel. Wang has united the smaller gangs to end her. As peaceful as a morning breeze, Silver assures Wo Yen that he will end the troubles he started alone, then return to fight Iron Whip. Before they answer, he dives out the window. Han Tao stops Golden Swallow, asking her to stay, but she can't let Silver clean up the mess alone. She feels responsible and follows him out the window. Silver Rock finds the soldiers who are looking for Wo Yen in the forest. They claim to have no beef with him, but he insists that a grudge with the Golden Swallow is a grudge with him. The leader taunts Silver with the remark that he's in love with Golden Swallow. As he laughs, he adds that it seems everyone loves her, but he bets Han Tao got to her first. Oh, no, he didn't. Infuriated, Silver cuts up the man's mouth, then splits open the rest of that jokester's posse. More men enlist to die at Silver's swords, and he obliges them quickly. Silver slashes his way up a flight of stairs as if playing a video game on easy mode, ignoring Golden Swallow's and Iron Whip's pleas to stop. He even forbids them from following. At the top of the stairs, Wang had set up a trap for him to fight the Golden Gang's top 5 lieutenants. Wang hides in the nearby tomb as he taunts Silver, saying that the trap is to test his prowess. Wang underestimates the glee this brings Silver Rock. Instead of 1 kill, he gets 5. The lieutenants follow Silver as he leaps onto a bamboo pole. He takes them down one by one. One of them thinks rage will help, but it leads to an apparent attack that Silver counters, sinking his sword into the red-costumed loser's back. The last 2 get Silver's 2-for-1 special. Wang talks trash, claiming he'll teach Silver a lesson. His reputation has gone to his head, and as dragon leader, Wang will make him rue entering the grave. The words ring hollow, given Silver's winning streak. The poisonous dragon's bite has no poison. Deeper into the tomb, more men with shields face Silver, but it makes little difference. He overcomes and disposes of them. With nowhere to hide, Wang unsheathes his weapon and engages Silver Rock. The Golden Swallow and Iron Whip finally reach the heart of the tomb, where they find Silver facing the head of the Golden Dragon Gang. Silver commands them not to interfere. The 2 friends stand by. Silver Rock's battle awareness is off the charts. The duo had taken down 3 low rankers and were watching the 2 swordmasters fight, but they failed to notice a soldier who had recovered and was creeping up on them. Before he attacks Iron Whip from behind, Silver throws a dagger, ensuring he stays down for good. He saved Iron Whip's life. It would not be surprising if his motive is to make sure Iron Whip is alive and well enough to duel him once he is done with Wang. Either way, it's undeniable he has a super high-level battle IQ. Unfortunately, while saving Iron Whip, Wang flees. Silver is pissed. He warns them sternly. He acknowledges that they helped, but he saved them. Now they're even. He promises he will be back for Iron Whip after he's finished with, or more accurately, finishes Wang. Then leaps after his enemy. Iron Whip and Swallow follow, but they are too slow. They lose them in the forest clearing. Tired, Golden Swallow and Iron Whip are resting in their room when a dagger delivers instructions for Iron Whip, the time and place for his duel with Silver. Swallow finds out and is incensed that Han had planned on leaving without a word. Iron Whip counters with an ultimatum. Say you love him, and I'll leave. You'll never see me again. Wo Yen is stunned. She knows the only way to stop him is to say she loves Silver Rock. What does she do? She evades. She would much rather search for Peng than decide. In her search, she meets Flying Fox, a master connoisseur of gentlemen's clubs who points her in the right direction. She finds Silver. He's pleasantly surprised, and Niang knows her lane and makes a quick egress. Silver ushers Swallow to the table, and they share a drink. He updates her on his failure to find Wang, but assures her that he has devastated his gang enough that Wang can never be effective. Silver's comments were meant to put her at ease. Silver reminisces about Swallow's past wearing women's clothing and asks if she is willing to oblige. Swallow agrees and lets down her hair. Silver dons a gown on her. The two are no longer Silver Rock and Golden Swallow. They reveal their more vulnerable personas, Peng and Wo Yen. Peng poetically asks Wo Yen the same question Han Tao asked her before she ran into Peng's arms. She admits that she is fully aware of his love for her, but Han Tao loves her too. Wo Yen, in turn, poses a question to him, if he is willing to forfeit tomorrow's duel. He senses that the idea of choosing Peng over Han Tao, or vice versa, brings her pain. He suggests they put their worries aside for tonight and simply enjoy each other's company. After a few drinks, she spends the night. The next morning, Niang finds Wo Yen on her bed, deep asleep with Peng standing over her, watching. Niang also knows about the pending duel and asks if it is related to the woman who is sleeping on her bed. Peng nods. She notes how easily he forgets that she is still here. Niang figures out that Wo Yen came to stop Peng from making it to the duel's rendezvous. Niang pleads with Peng not to fight. He dismisses her, all you women are the same, and leaps off the balcony. As the morning sun's rays kiss the hillside, Silver and Iron Whip meet. These men of action draw their weapons. The deadliest fight of their lives begins. While Niang and Wo Yen, to nobody's surprise, go after Silver, so does Wang. The Flying Fox, on the other hand, encroaches on Wang. He confronts Wang and seeks payback for ordering the assault that left him severely injured. He is not fully healed, and he wants vengeance. Wang pities him, so Flying Fox is emboldened and frees his injured hand from his sling. Flying Fox knew he was no match for Wang. Their fight was short. Flying Fox goes down smiling, stating that he only wanted to buy Golden Swallow enough time to reach Silver. Back to Silver and Iron Whip. Iron Whip is losing badly. Silver disarms him and is about to deliver the final blow when Wo Yen intervenes. Silver notices a disturbance that rattles a flock of birds, something amiss. He leaps over a scrambling Iron Whip, who picks up his sword and thrusts at Silver as he flies over to a thicket of leaves. One strike, Wang crashes to his death. Silver lands on his feet. Iron Whip does a double take. His weapon's tip is missing. Broken. Silver considers the series of events. Iron Whip got through his defense. Is it pure luck, or did fate finally catch up to him? He strains as he turns to Swallow, Niang, and Iron Whip, who are stunned to see Wang fall from the tree, but shocked at Peng's injury. The tip of Iron Whip's weapon is in Peng's midsection, under his left rib cage. Iron Whip approaches, sweat and regret on his face. He mistook Silver's move as an attack on him, not knowing Wang was upon them. Like in the tomb, Silver saved Iron Whip from unseen danger. Silver reminds Iron Whip that if he wanted him dead, he would be. He lifts his sword and points to Iron Whip's head. Silver had nicked some of his hair. Iron Whip realizes that he fought a man whose leaps and bounds out of his league. The defeated Iron Whip confirms to Silver that he is the greatest swordsman he has ever fought, and possibly the greatest who has ever lived. His loss to Silver means that he will have to surrender his moniker. Silver believes he has made his point and sheathed his sword. He removes part of Iron Whip's sword that was still burrowed into his midsection as he turns away from Wo Yen. In her final attempt, Wo Yen tearfully proclaims her love for Peng. Despite injuries and pain, Peng's face shows relief. Even better, absolution. Han rushes to help, but the ever-prideful Silver declines the offer and instead asks them to leave. His dying wish is for Han to take Wo Yen away from all the death and sadness. Han Tao backs away from Silver and goes to Wo Yen. He convinces her to leave with him, allowing the man she just proclaimed her love for to die in peace. Han reminds her that men like him want to be remembered as heroes. Meanwhile, Niang rushes to Peng's side and helps him settle down. In her loving arms, Peng realizes he never reciprocated her love, and it wasn't fair. He asks for forgiveness. He couldn't help loving another. Niang accepted her role in Peng's life a long time ago. Their moment of introspection is interrupted. Silver senses footsteps. He asks her to leave him. He plans to make a stand and buy her time to flee as a large group of men marches towards their location. Niang declines. She is Peng's ride or die. She offers to dress his wound to stem the bleeding. Silver promises to take down as many men as he can. He settles his mind and body, preparing for the next battle. The men approach, and as promised, Silver takes on all of them. Swordsmen, struck down. Archers did not have a chance. What about the 4 men who broke rank and went after Niang? Especially them. They paid dearly for assaulting his favorite companion. Lastly, 4 whip specialists tried to pin down the greatest swordsman, but they failed. In the end, Silver Rock, a.k.a. Xiao Peng, stood over the slain bodies of his enemies. his handiwork, and proclaimed, "As always, the master swordsman," as Niang cried. Picture: Xie Waryen, formerly known as the Golden Swallow. In the valley, Han Tao's home, where we first saw her recover from a poisoner's dart. Her hair was down, and she was dressed in women's clothing. Han Tao gave her his home and bid her farewell, promising never to return. A saddened Waryen promises never to leave the valley, staying close to where they have laid Xiaopeng, formerly known as Silver Rock, to rest. The Golden Swallow offers a contrast between characters who choose death over dishonor, the principled gangster who refuses rescue, Silver Rock's final stand, versus those who adapt and survive, posing a fundamental question. Is it better to die for absolute principles or live with necessary compromises? The story doesn't provide easy answers, but suggests that both choices carry profound costs. The dead become legends, but the living must carry the weight of what might have been. Please hit that subscribe button for more. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment. Pass on what works for you.